Powers of a monomial. Hey, today we're going to talk about multiplying powers of a power. So we've talked about multiplying powers. When we did that, when we multiplied the bases, we added the exponents. When we divided bases, we subtracted the exponents. Here we're going to be multiplying powers. When we raise a power to a power, a to the m raised to the n power, we multiply. So you have a raised to the m times the n power. So here, 7 to the 4th raised to the second power. So I just multiply the two powers. 4 times 2, that gives me an answer of 7 to the 8th power, which I'm going to leave like this. Alright, so first one, 9 to the 6th raised to the second power. Right, I just take 9 and 6 times 2. I just multiply those powers, so I've got 9 to the 12th power. Any questions how to do that? Q to the 4th raised to the 5th power, so it's q to the 20th power. And you guys do the next two. The next one, n to the 4th raised to the 4th power, so it should have got n to the 16th power. Next one, 2 to the 3rd power raised to the negative 2 power, so you should have got 2 to the negative 6 power, but that's not the answer. If it says a positive exponent, you have to make negative 6 a positive exponent. How do I do that? Excuse me. How do I do that? Yes, Kurt?
You write 1 over 2.
I flip it. It should be 1 over 2 to the 6. Good. Here you've got a power of a product, which just means you've got a product here, a multiplication problem right here, a times b. You're raising it to a power, and when you do that, you raise everything on the inside to the power that's on the outside. So AB raises to the n power, you've got a to the m power and b to the n power. Everything gets that m. You distribute that m to everybody, the power to everybody. So here's an example, 7 times x to the 4th squared. Okay, 7x4 squared. So everything gets a second power. So the 2 gets the second power, or the 7 gets the second power, and the x to the 4th gets the second power. Which it'll say simplify. So we'll want 7 times 7, which is 49, and x to the 8th. There's your answer. Alright, 5r to the 7th squared. So I raise, since 2's on the outside, I raise everything to the 2. So 5 squared or 7 squared. So now I just simplify. 5 times 5 is 25, r to the 14th. Any questions how to do that? 2x to the 6th, y to the 3rd, raised to the 4th power. So 2 to the 4th, x to the 24th, y to the 12th, 2 to the 4th, 2 times 2 is 4, 2 times 2 is 4, so 6, so 4 times 4 is 16. X to the 24th, y to the 12th. Alright, and that's your answer. Anyone have any questions on that? Now, I'll point out a couple before I have you do the next one, I want to point out a couple problems I had with last hour. They thought, some of them, I don't know if they just weren't paying attention on this one, but they saw that I raised 5 to the second power. So they just raised everything to the second power always, even though the problem doesn't ask that. Here it doesn't ask that, and that's what they did, is they raised 2 to the second power. Right? You raise it to the power based on what's on the outside, right? And everything gets that. People still have trouble with making sure everybody gets that. So I want you guys to do the next one. Just that one. I'll come and check your answer, and then we'll do the last one together. One thing I noticed, I guess I should point out, people like to raise 6 to the 4th power. Is 6 being raised to the 4th power? No. If 6 was being raised to the 4th power, there'd be a 4 behind that 6. Is there a 4 behind the 6? No, don't do that. And several students last hour did that. If you were raising 6 to the 4th power, you would have parentheses there. Is there parentheses there? No. So you don't raise 6 to the 4th power. Right? If you need to know what power 6 is being raised to right at the moment, just say it's 1. Okay? They're separate. Always think if it's being raised to a power, it would show you what that power is unless it's 1. Here, right, it's being raised to 1 power, so they don't need to tell you that. You raise everything, you distribute that 5 out, so it should get 6 to the 5th, W, and then 4 times 5. You multiply. When you raise the power to a power, you multiply. Okay? Now, 6 to the 5th, I told you, it's 7,776. And 4 times 5 is 20, so W20. Any questions how to do that? Alright, let's do the last one. I raise everything to the second power because the power is on the outside. And again, you don't just raise it to the second power unless that 2's there. Right? It doesn't. If it's not there, don't raise it to that power. So 3 squared, x to the negative 4th, y to the 8th. I simplify. So 3 squared is 9. I need to get x to the positive exponent, so I would flip it and put it on bottom. And so what would be left on top was y to the 8th. So there's my answer for the last one. 9 y to the 8th over x to the 4th. Anyone have any questions on that? Here's your homework assignment for today.